group. Hope everybody's well. Somebody reminded me of a story about Chagdud Rinpoche this week. And very interestingly, when I turned the page for tonight's contemplation, he tells the story within the context of his teachings on parenting, which we've been studying. So we'll start out, he talks about with traumatized children, how to approach a discipline with them, or difficult children. And he said the most important thing is the approach to discipline must be consistent throughout the family and ideally throughout the school and the community. So if the approach is not consistent, Rinpoche says, children won't trust or respect those who are providing structure in their lives. Even though children on some level know that they need structure, they know that they need outside guidance and structure and limits. At the same time, if it's inconsistent, they can end up resenting it and not respecting it. What's important is when discipline is administered, it's administered together with loving kindness, consistently from all the adults. Consistent discipline is difficult to achieve in the West because we don't all agree on how to enforce basic rules of behavior with children. For example, if a child tells her parent how she was disciplined at school, and the parent responds, "What a terrible thing your teacher did," the child will lose respect for the teacher, and the teacher is disempowered. But if parents support the teacher, and if they can work together, then disciplinary measures will be effective. In the same way, parents need to support each other. For example, if a father is strict with a child, she may run crying to her mother. If the mother responds with, "I'm so sorry, why did daddy do that to you?" then the father's discipline loses its power. If the mother ignores or questions what the father has said, the child will too. If, on the other hand, the mother supports the child by saying, "Be careful, don't do that again, your father's trying to help you," the child will respect him. A unified approach to instilling positive behavior and values is always the most beneficial. So Rinpoche then says, "I may seem very peaceful to you now, but as a child, I definitely was not. When I was about 9, my stepfather came to live with us. He was a very nice man, but I didn't like having him around because until he arrived, I was the man of the house. My father, who I never met, was a great Lama, as was my mother. Many guests came to see her and brought offerings, usually sweets. So my mother always had a big bag of candy, which was a very rare thing. All I had to do was ask, and I could have as many as I wanted. I could even share them with my friends. The whole bag was mine to do what I wanted with it. But when my stepfather moved in, he used the candies for offerings. The bag was tied shut, and they were no longer mine. I was furious." So Rinpoche says, "I devised a plan to kill him. I made a bow and arrow, just my size. Through a window, I could just see the top of his head as he sat in meditation. I shot the arrow directly at his head, and I ran away. I was sure I had killed him, and I was happy to be rid of him. But when I turned around, there he was, standing outside, holding his head and laughing. The arrow had grazed his head." You can see that I didn't exactly start out in a peaceful state. For all children, a great deal of life experience and exposure to positive role models can help resolve such tendencies for misbehavior. So obviously, if there's hope for Rinpoche, there's hope for all of us. Tara? Om Orjin Yujin Nujan Sampe Magesar Dompo La Yatsen Jorge Ngodro Ne Pema jungne jesodra gordo gadro mampe ko chechi jeso dadro ji jinje labje sheso so guru pema siddhi Om Orjin Yujin Ojan Sam Pema Gesar Dombola Yatsen Joging Odrone Pema Jungne Jesodra Gordo Kadro Mampe Ko Cheche Jeso Dadro Ji Jinje Labje Sheso So Goro Pema Siddhi Om Orjin Yujin Ojan Sam Pema Gesar Dombola Yatsen Joging Odrone Pema Jungne Jesodra Gordo Kadro Mampe Kor Chechi Jeso Dadro Ji Jinje Labje Sheso So Guru Pema Siddhi Om. In the space in front of me, the mother of all the victorious ones, Arya Tara, actually appears, and to her I pray. Now, as I and countless others are lost in the ocean of samsaric suffering, I seek Buddhahood to gain temporary and ultimate happiness for myself and all living beings. For this reason, I take refuge in Arya Tara, the embodiment of pure awareness, inseparable from all perfect qualities of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, Yidam, and Dakini. Now, as I and countless others are lost in the ocean of samsaric suffering, I seek Buddhahood to gain temporary and ultimate happiness for myself and all living beings. For this reason, I take refuge in Arya Tara, the embodiment of pure awareness, inseparable from all perfect qualities of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, Yidam, and Dakini. Now, as I and countless others are lost in the ocean of samsaric suffering, I seek Buddhahood to gain temporary and ultimate happiness for myself and all living beings. For this reason, I take refuge in Arya Tara, embodiment of pure awareness, inseparable from all perfect qualities of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, Yidam, and Dakini. From the depths of my heart I pray, evoking from Tara's forehead, throat, and heart a brilliant surge of rainbow light. As the light rays touch me and all other beings, the poisonous fruits of negative karma, sickness, demonic afflictions, and obstacles evaporate like dew in the morning sun. Merit, wisdom, glory, wealth, and longevity increase beyond measure. Illustrious Tara, please be aware of me, remove my obstacles, and quickly grant my excellent aspirations. Please pray for Kaka tonight. Please pray for Marcelo's eye.